Hi, this is Marie World Peas Knits, episode 59. I'm looking down at my notes. So let's get started. I have lots of crochet and knitting projects to show you that I've been working on. The first one is this daisy flower charity square. And I had these squares in my craft room and I've had them for a long time, and I finally went ahead and crocheted them together with some Softly Baby that I had in my stash. And this is what it looks like. So it's just 9 squares that I had. I made just little blankets. And this is the Daisy Flower Charity Square. And I'll go ahead and put who it's by down below. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. It's Krystal, and I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. So I do love this pattern. It is a Wounded Warrior Project pay-for pattern. It's $3. I just looked it up. And it's crocheted using a size G hook 4.0. And I used Plymouth yarn Encore worsted for the squares. And then I used the Softly Baby for the edging. So I really love how it turned out. It's super cute. You should try it if you come across the pattern, or if you decide you want to make a baby blanket. It's really cute. Okay, so the next thing is, I have lots of crochet and knit projects today. So the next thing is this hat. It's with Zauberball Starke 6. That's what I used, and I had this much left over, which I had a lot left over. And it's a knit hat, just a basic sock yarn, 1 strand hat. I cast on 124 stitches. I did a 2x2 rib. I used a size 5 for the ribbing and a size 6 for the top of the hat. And it's color number 2170, in case you're looking for it. And then I went ahead and put this pom-pom on it. You just tie it you know, through the stitches. It's from the Grocery Girls. It's really cute. And then that's it. This is how it turned out. I love it. So it's just a little kind of slouchy hat. All right. So the next thing that I have, I have 2 pairs of fingerless mitts actually. And this next pair of fingerless mitts is the Crunkled sock pattern by Kay Jones. This is what it looks like. And it's super fun to knit. And I used this West Yorkshire Spinners signature, let's see, yarn. I used it into Nutmeg number 630. And then I also used yarn scraps that I had, and this is all I had left. I am not, oh my gosh, I'm not sure of the main color of the yarn. It was just out of my scrap basket. So that's what it looks like. And I didn't add any thumb holes for these. I just thought I'd like them to be just like slouchy, kind of like sleeves for fall. And I love how they turned out. You can just wear them under your coat. They're super cute. And yeah, I love them. So that is Crunkled sock pattern by Kay Jones. Okay, so the next thing that I have are another pair of fingerless mitts. This one I did a tutorial on, and I'll go ahead and link it up above the tutorial. And I'll link it in the notes down below. I'll link all of these things in the notes down below if you're interested in anything that I talk about. So these are the fingerless mitts that I made. And these I made with Kate Celine's yarn. It's called Rainbow Sherbet. And I have this much left over. I could totally make a hat. And then I used West Yorkshire Spinners in the light blue 309 and the dark blue, or darker blue. So this one's spearmint. This one's Blueberry Bonbon, 309, and then this one's 365, the colors. So, and those I have lots of left over also. I love this for like socks for the heels and toes, or for fingerless mitts for the cuffs, and I love having extra of the full balls of the West Yorkshire spinner. So this is what they turned out like. They're really cute, and they're just a basic, easy, like first kind of fingerless mitt pattern. I just have a thumb hole that I created with a buttonhole. Super easy, and I'll show you how to do it in the tutorial. I'll link that above. So that is that. So the next thing, let me just turn the page in my notes, is this Bella Coco pumpkin. So it was like, I feel like it's fall. It's coming up on fall. That's what it looks like. And it's crocheted. And on this one, I chained 22 to start. I used a size H hook, and I used Softly Baby ice yarn. I used the light salmon color, 42387, and I'll link this all down below. And then for the stem, I actually knit the stem as an I-cord, and it was like a big I-cord, and I doubled it over and then just sewed it on. So it's kind of like a little loop of an I-cord, if you can. I'm not sure if you can see that. But you can make the stem with crochet or however you'd like. Or you can put a piece of wood in there, you know, from the garden or whatever. So, and let's see. Oh, the stem was made with Plucky Knitter Essie colorway, if you're interested. All right, and the tube, the I-cord tube that I created for the stem was I cast on 8 on a number 7 needle, and then I just did an I-cord. All right, and then I folded it over and sewed it on. Okay, so the next thing that I have is a scrappy triangle granny shawl. So I've been trying to get rid of all my scraps left over from all these socks that I've been making. Oh my gosh, I have tons of scraps. And so I thought, I've been making these shawls, and so I made one a long time ago. It was my favorite, and then I made another one that turned out to be a gift, and then I made another one in light colors, and then I decided I'm gonna make a fall one. So this is how it turned out. It's super big, and I used kind of fall colors. I really love it. And then I put tassels on it. So I used, I just made a scrappy triangle granny. And so this is how it starts. It starts out as a little triangle, and you kind of just crochet back and forth. I used a size 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And then I made tassels for it. Because I can't resist a tassel. And on these tassels, I tied a little heart. I don't even know if you can see that. Let me see. Let me cover my face. So there's like a little heart that I tied on it, because I thought it was so cute. But it's just like all scraps and everything, and I love how it turned out. So, you know, and of course you'll style it much nicer than I have. You know, off to the side. Or you could wear it as, you know, a shawl just over your shoulders. Totally. So it's so cute and so cozy and big, and I love the fall colors. Okay, so the next thing is, okay, so I heard about these mini yarn cozies. So I was like, well, do I need that really? You know, so I went ahead and decided to make a couple of them to try them out. And they're, it's by Natalie Coons. And I used just some scraps that I had in my stash. I used some fall colors. This one's a Halloween one. This one's a fall one. And I decided to make 2 to see if I would use them and if I enjoyed them. And so I will report back to you once I start using them. But what the deal is that you put them around your yarn ball. So say you have a full skein of yarn, like sock yarn, and then you cut it in half. Like when you wind it into cakes, you wind half of it into one ball and half of it into another ball. So that would make 2 50-gram balls to make a pair of socks, let's just say. And then you put them inside of these yarn cozies, and it keeps your yarn ball all together. So like when you're knitting with it or crocheting with it, the yarn ball tends, and you're pulling from the center, the yarn ball tends to collapse and just all this yarn comes out, and it kind of makes a mess in your bag and things get tangled in it. And this keeps it all together so that you can, I saw this video, this lady, she was pulling to the very last end and it didn't make a big mess. It stayed inside of this little yarn cozy and it was fabulous. So I am going to try them out and report back to you to see how I like them. But I thought that is the neatest thing, and they come in different sizes. I did 50-gram because I thought I would use those most, but they have like a 20-gram for a 20-gram mini, which I plan to make them all eventually if I like them. But they have a 20-gram to hold a 20-gram mini for like heels and toes. Like when you get sock sets, they come with sometimes a mini. And then they have a 100-gram, which is for a full skein of yarn. And it's just a larger one of these. So I got the pattern bundle, and I plan to try to make all 3. So super cute, really great idea. And I'm excited to see how they work. So, okay. So the next thing is, okay, so I made these afterthought heel socks with this Patton's Croy yarn from the big box stores. So this one is Sidewalk chalk, and I have this much left, just one little bit of it. And I showed these on the last episode. I had one of them made, and I finished the second one. I started and finished it. So I have 2 now. I love how they turned out. This Patton's Croy is like kind of a thicker yarn, and it really lasts a long time. It's like it can be washed and dried. Of course, I like to wash it on delicate and then hang it to dry, just so that they last the maximum amount of time and I don't forget like which one can be put in the dryer and which one can't. So I usually just do them on delicate in the washer or hand wash them and then hang them to dry, just over the shower, you know, bar. But I love how it turned out. I used this West Yorkshire spinners for my heels, and it's color number 240. I'm not sure of the name of this color, but I love it. It's pretty. It's like a pretty fall color. So this is how they turned out. So cute. I can't wait to wear them this winter. Okay, and the next thing that I have is, oh yeah, okay, is my works in progress. So I have a shawl that I have been working on. It is more of a long-term project. I realize it's not going to be done right away because it is a pattern that every row, it's just every row I check a little box to say that I did that row, you know, so it's one of those patterns. But it is the Night Shift Shawl by Andrea Mowry, and I love how it's coming out. It's really cute. It's going to be beautiful. So I'm using 2 balls of Noro, and I'm switching. Let's see, I have color number 23 and color number 25. And then I also used another sock yarn that I had in my stash, which is by Noro. And it's just a lighter color. I'm just adding that in whenever I feel like it. And this one was color S1. So I got this at a local yarn store. before the pandemic because I haven't been to one since. But actually, I take that back. I did go to one on a vacation with a mask on. So, and then I'm using US size 7 needles for this. And I absolutely love it. It's so fun. But it does take some more concentration and takes me a little bit longer to make. So this is a longer term project, but I do love how it's coming out. Okay. And I was going to just share with you really quickly what I got at that yarn store. I went up to Estes Park and they have a yarn store called the Stitch and Den. And I got, they were having some sort of yarn crawl, but I wasn't doing the yarn crawl. I just happened to go in. These are by A Herd of Cats. That's the yarn dyeing company. It must be some local company here. Yeah, they're named after different lakes up at the Rocky Mountain National Park. So this is what they look like. I love them. They have speckles and pastels, totally some of my favorites. All right, and then I also picked up this. This is, it's by the Crazy Zauberball people. Let's see, give me the name of it. I haven't seen this particular type before, but I love it. I love the hot pinks and stuff, and I'd love to do some scrappy projects with this. So it's really cute. So I got that there too at the Stitch and Den. All right, so that's everything. I do have a little video with my friends, my Denver Cruise projects, and you can see what Jana and Hillary and Nyla's sister is up to. Bye. See you next time. Thanks.